Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cosmic Jelly, and today we're going to be talking about Balanced Druid. Now, I've been playing Balanced Druid for so long, and I just recently moved to Storm Rage from Emerald Dream because it's a more populated server. You actually see people while leveling. It's just really nice, to be honest with you, right? But my main subject of this video is going to be Balanced Druid, and I see a lot of people playing Balanced Druid a little bit weird, and I feel like it's not represented too well. And I'm not saying, dude, please don't take this as me saying like, oh, I'm the best balancer to ever live and anything like that or whatever. This is not the case. I just see a lot of people playing this role, balance druid, as if like it's a classic druid. And what I mean by that is, in classic, druids didn't really have a lot of burst. They basically live by out sustaining. Well, that age of druid has been gone for quite a long time. Okay, druids now are basically monsters. We have massive heals, we have massive bursts, we have dots, damage over time, and stuff like that, which makes us a nightmare for classes that like to troll around. Later on, we're probably gonna have what I basically line my bar up with is 3 dots. Oh, what is this guy doing, dude? Please don't make me get on my DK, bro. Because I don't even know why you're here. You must be 60. No, must be above 60. I don't know what that person is doing here, but this is annoying. There's been wars going on. All this is why I switched to the server. I don't know what the hell's up with this server, man, but this server is getting so much love. Like, there's so many people here. It's actually insane. It's nice. And my DK's logged out here because of all the freaking mayhem, man. Like every 20-30 minutes, some idiots come in here ganking people. The low levels are fighting on site. It's crazy. But they won't fight in this camp because these guards are one shot you or whatever. But you gotta watch out. These arcane mages and stuff be plotting. They out here with a lot of damage. So let's talk about Balanced Druid. I see a lot of people playing Balanced Druid, and they play, like I said, like classic, and it's not a problem. The thing is, I feel like when I see people doing that, they're acting like they're doing so much or whatever, and I feel like they're not doing anything. These are like the same druids or whatever that don't get anywhere in BGs, and that say like, this is the reason why there's a stigma on druids, saying that, oh, in battlegrounds they just do a bunch of AoE, they don't really do any damage or whatever. This is not true at all. We have some of the highest bursts in the game. We have one of the hardest hitting skills in the game called Star Surge. Now, it doesn't hit as hard as a Graded Pyro or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that it's on par with something like a Chaos Bolt. And what makes it better is it's instant cast. So some people, they don't even have a chance to prepare against this. Now, a lot of people underestimate this, but when you have a skill like Chaos Bolt or Greater Pyro, people see you casting that. And typically when you see people casting something that's going to do a massive amount of damage, your defense is, hey, I gotta bunker up. I gotta use a cooldown, whatever, a defensive, and mitigate some of that damage or get out of dodge. Now, see, Druid is kind of like a stroke. Now, guys, please don't take that out of content, whatever. I'm not making fun of stroke victims. My dad had a stroke. I took care of him for 2 years. But what I mean by that is you don't see these star surges coming. Like, people, you can hit somebody with like 3 or 4 of these suckers in a row, and I'm telling you guys, they will drop. Okay. When I play Druid, I play highly aggressive. Okay, I play almost like a Warlock, right? Because I'm not as stationary as a Warlock, mind you, but I'm not running from no smoke. Okay, when warriors charge me, and I'll tell you guys my talent loadout right now for PvP. So in PvP, I use Iron Feather because the 20% minus crit for people is massive. You guys don't understand. People already have low chances to crit nowadays, unless they're like top in gear, like mythic raid gear, and they'll probably be, at that point they'll probably be barely sitting at 30% or something like that. But everyone else is literally below 20%. Like, I mean, I would say, well, they're below 25%. So this right here helps a huge bit. This helps so huge, it's ridiculous. Okay, it pretty much cripples melee. It allows you to out trade them pretty much, right? So then on top of that, when I'm in a BG, I use Moonkin Aura. Now, this is great because it's a 40-yard range, and this is basically putting every caster in your group on crack. This is pretty much giving every single caster in your freaking group and the whole BG that you're with an extra 12%. So this is pushing all your regular people, whatever, from having about 20, or God forbid if they have a mage has 30% chance to crit. Now they're at 40% chance to crit, just because of this talent. Now this talent boosts the whole BG. This is going to turn the tides crazy, especially if there's a lot of casters. This helps with all casters, period. I don't even have to go any farther into that. And the third talent is Thorns. Thorns makes it a nightmare for classes like rogues and stuff like that. Listen, once a rogue find out that you have Thorns and you have Iron Feather, like, they'll know, because they won't be doing any damage to you, but they will be getting nuked down. You can out trade just about any melee in a game with this, especially in Battlegrounds, because in Battlegrounds, rogues don't typically like sap and run away and do all that stuff. They don't really have time to play with you as they would in like a duel situation. But even in duel situations or whatever, it's pretty good. Another good one is Deep Roots. Deep Roots is really good for later on once you get super geared. Once you get super geared, you're able to burst someone down really fast. This talent is so broken. I've had people log out of their mages or whatever because of this. You root them, you put a solar flare on top of them or whatever so they can't even cast, and by times they even make it out of that or whatever, I swear, most of the time, some of the people have lost like 70% of their health. It's so crazy. It's so crazy, and I'm not sure if it's just it's just because of how our burst works. Our burst works with the star surges. So all the other stuff like the dots, you barely notice them on you or whatever, but they actually add up over a course of a fight, right? So you have your dots going, and later on I'll have 3. I usually take this one right here, Stellar Flare. Right, so I usually have 3 of those dots running on people. Then I have something like shooting, but I usually use Fury of Illume. So this is another one. Man, I'm telling you, this is a nightmare for. There's only a couple of classes or whatever that I have problems with. Okay, one of those classes are Warlock, right? And you don't really have a problem with them. You just have to play smart with them. You can't just go and think you're going to burst them down. Understand this, in balance form, in your Bunkin form, you have 45 range. This means that you outrange them by 5 yards. So even if it was just 40-40, pitch your dots on them and just run. So the thing is, you can heal. They can't heal without you. So they need you or whatever to be able to life drain or something like that. And if they decide to life drain, you can hard cast on them, to be honest. Like, you can really like line of sight or run a little bit out of range or whatever and hit them, because you do way too much damage for them to get enough health back through draining life unless they're spec'd into it. You won't really see any warlocks doing that unless they're like affliction warlocks will probably be a sort of a problem for you, but not really, because they don't have a lot of sustain as far as like survivability. So if you pop all your cooldowns, if you pop like a celestial alignment and you pop bark skin or whatever, and you just go ham on them, I'm telling you, we have damage. I don't know where this whole thing of druids, like, don't have killing potential or whatever. We have a lot of damage. And my druid at the time when I was PvPing and doing Battlegrounds was only item level 400, fighting against people that were like 440 and 430 and stuff like that. And I was running them in. I was literally taking them to town. So, dude, don't do it. Don't do it, you goofball. If you do it, dude, my guy's right here, bro. Don't even do it to yourself. You gotta watch out, man. There's so much stuff going on. Like, people are getting on their higher level characters because they're losing fights. That's what's happening. Like, there's so much beef going on here. It's so crazy. That's why I love this server, man. I'm never turning war mode off or whatever. It's really nice. And it's not just one side. It's not like one faction is just pummeling the hell out of the other or whatever. It's pretty even, right? But the reason why I made this video is because when I go into Battlegrounds, I see other balanced druids in there, man, and they just getting ran over. And like this one guy in this last Battleground that I was in, he was like complaining, and I understand his pain or whatever, because not until level 70 do we become almost immune to melee. And what I mean by that is just like, once you hit level 70 as a balanced druid and you pick the right PvP talents, is so massive. Like on all my other characters, my warlock and all that stuff, I never felt like my PvP talents make too big of a difference. Like I can fight without them. I don't need any. Like none of them are like so detrimental to your class or whatever as if like this stuff is to druid, to balance druid, except for maybe reflect makes it nice. Reflect is just so beautiful. Greater, you reflect a greater pyro or chaos bolt, it's great, it's awesome, right? But that's nothing compared to what druid actually needs to survive in a battleground type situation. Arena is a different story. Arena, you have a partner, so you have someone to help you with your weaknesses, right? So that's why I'm not talking about arena. I'm just talking about this. So what I would typically run is iron feather armor, right? And then the second thing you want to grab at 70 is thorns. And once you have both of these, that's going to stop that whole train that's like hitting you every time you go on the battleground. That's going to stop all these dumb rogues and warriors and paladins just straight charging you and harassing the hell out of you, right? Now, another thing I want to talk about is actually this talent right here. So you might be asking what talent to get first. Definitely get Iron Feather Armor first. Unless you're sick of rogues jumping on you, then you can get Thorns. But I'm telling you, this is just going to overall help you right now with paladins, warriors, and stuff like that. Because at low levels, their crits do like so much more damage. Like that's just how it is. While you're leveling up, crits are just so ridiculous. Like Star Surge hits for supposed to hit for 600. It crits for double that, and this is like supposed to be a big skill right here. Lunar Strike. This is supposed to be the equivalent of something just like your average skill that you should be getting hit with a caster, right? So crits for 400. 400 hit ain't that dramatic, right? But melee attacks hit you for like the same thing, and they crit a lot. I don't know what the hell's up with low level melee characters in battlegrounds, but their skills crit like 2 times. Like I think Templar Verdict crits for like damn near 2k in the 40 bracket, and as you can see in the 40 bracket, I only have 3,400 health. So that's like damn near 60% of my. That's more. That's like 70% of my health, literally. So Templar Verdict is like literally no joke. Like I can try to do this guy to kind of show you, but you guys won't see those big crits because of this skill right here. Like this skill is so big. The armor is just icing on a cake right there. The armor is just icing on a cake. Okay. I use adaptation because in battlegrounds, people are just going to be spamming stuns on you nonstop. Now, if you're a very hardcore player and you want to like think about every little decision you make as far as like your trinket and getting out of stuns and choosing what stuns you get out, typically I stay in the back or whatever, and I make sure that I'm not in range of idiots like that, unless it's a 1v1 situation. But to be honest, it's just way better. Every single minute you're gonna pop out of some weird CC that someone throws at you while you're chasing a flag carrier or something like that. You shouldn't be 1v1 in the battleground anyway, but there's those times when you are. But it's not going to be like a dual setting. Most people are running around battlegrounds. They're using all their cooldowns when they're off cooldown. So no one's going to be specifically saving something to just like screw your life over where you would have to use a trinket or you're going to die type situation. I don't really know how better else to explain that, whatever. But the trinket is really not needed outside of arena or duels. So that's how I feel like that. That's how I feel about that adaptation. I just feel it's like way better. And even for some classes like paladin, adaptation is like still better because they have so many cooldowns that they can get out of stuff or whatever. Adaptation just makes them a freaking pure monster. There's a couple other classes like that, like DK and stuff like that, where adaptation I think is better than a trinket. But obviously, when you're not fighting, when you're not dueling the rogue, if you're dueling the rogue, then I don't really know what to tell you because they're just gonna sap you, and it sucks that it takes off sap. But if adaptation did not take off saps, it would be god tier. It literally would, because that's the only reason people really don't use it. And well, I wouldn't say that's not the only reason people won't use it in arena. In arenas, you have to be, your healer could never take something like adaptation, to be honest. Because if your healer gets sapped in a crucial moment or whatever, or like CC, they need to be able to choose what CCs to eat and what CCs to get out. So I'm just gonna say that so people don't kill me in the comments or whatever. But for Druid, typically, just run adaptation unless you're getting serious into arenas. If you're going into arena, just wear the trinket. I'm just gonna say that, okay? Even though I think adaptation is like monstrous. So, another thing, kiting. You don't have to kite. It's funny. So, as a balanced Druid, the people that you're kiting aren't necessarily the freaking the people that you're kiting aren't the melee. The melee, you're going to basically bark skin thorns. As soon as they jump on you, bark skin thorns, and then you're going to go ham on them. And don't give them the chance. Make it so if they try to wait out your cooldowns, like these things right here, make it so if they decide to re-engage, it's already too late. They're going to die. Okay? That's what you have to focus on. That's why I love Druid so much, man. It's all about countering. I love counter games. I love the whole idea of if you use this, I'm gonna use this type stuff, and we have to wait for the first person to slip up or for the first person to do something that can't be answered by the second person that's fighting you. So I decided to completely make my Druid over on a server because I didn't want to transfer. Transfers are expensive. I wouldn't only have to transfer, but I'd have to race change as well. So that would be $50 or whatever. And I'm done with that. I moved my DK to this server. My DK right now is 451, I think. Yeah, I think I'm like 450 or 451, depending on like what trinket I put on. But I love my DK. I don't think I'm going to main my DK going into Shadowlands. I think for Shadowlands, I am going to take my Druid into there, and I'm going to bring you guys a lot of Druid footage. And I also made a video talking about the server. I don't know when I'll get to upload that or whatever, but hopefully I can upload one of these videos today, actually. So I don't know. I'll probably go and edit both of them and then upload them both. I don't know, not all today. Hopefully soon with the whichever one. Like maybe you guys will get this one. Matter of fact, you guys will get this one. Hopefully I'm gonna edit and put this one out or whatever, and then the other one you have to wait for. It's the server one. But if anyone's wondering, I'm on Storm Rage. I'm staying on this server for the foreseeable future. I moved my main over here, which is my DK, and I started leveling up all my alts and stuff and all the classes that I actually want over here, and I'm playing on Alliance, and I am NA. So I'm not playing on Europe server, guys. This is NA. Storm Rage. It's very popping. I'll try to get that server video out to you guys within like a week after this one launches. So peace out, guys. This is Cosmic Jelly. More balanced Druid videos to come.